I'd like to tell you a little bit more about American Ways, an introduction to American culture. As I mentioned before, this book has been out for over 30 years, and it started with a publisher asking us to write about American values, the American character. What do Americans believe in? And back in the day, of course, there were no computers, and I remember sitting there with the yellow pad in front of me thinking, oh my gosh, this is such an awesome task. How are we ever going to figure this out? Well, fortunately, there were three of us, and we brought three different perspectives to the book. One was Ned Carney, and he was really mostly the content person, and he had a broad background in American studies and American politics and the presidency. And then there's Jodi Crandall, who is really a superstar in the field of ESL. She's known all over the world, and she has brought a perspective to us of teacher training and sociolinguistics, and she's a fascinating person. Actually, you can read some of my personal reminiscences about her on the website. And then I brought the ESL perspective and the teaching and so forth. So together, we talked about what did we think the basic values were? Where did they come from and how did they develop? And Ned created a paradigm for these 6 values, which really is beautiful in its simplicity. Ned expressed it this way: there are 3 reasons why people came, and still come today, and there are 3 prices that have to be paid for these benefits. So we can think of these 6 values as 3 pairs. So the first one is individual freedom, and the price for that is self-reliance. If you ask Americans what they're proudest of, they're going to say freedom. Freedom is the bedrock of our country. So, but you can't be completely free if you're beholden to someone. Somebody can pull your string, so you have to be self-reliant. The second one is for equality of opportunity, and by this, Americans mean the equal chance to succeed. And the price for that is competition, because if everybody has an equal chance, you have to compete. And the third one is for the American dream, for a better life. And the price for that traditionally has been hard work. So we have these 6 values, these 3 pairs: individual freedom and self-reliance, equality of opportunity and competition, and the American dream and hard work. And we can see that these values were there at the foundation of the country. What's really amazing about these values is, these 6 values, is that they have stood the test of time. There was a huge influx of new immigrants at the end of the 1800s and at the beginning of the 1900s. 1910, 15% of the population of the United States had been born in another country. Today, we are approaching that same percentage. If you look back then and you think, all right, 100 years ago, all of these people came, how was it that they embraced these values and that we still have them today? And that's really intriguing to look back then at the Youth's Companion and see what they were writing about and see the stories about that. So really, the Youth's Companion gives us that historical perspective, and the 6 values, the paradigm, give us a frame of reference for looking at the history. So we're not just looking at everything, we're looking at how did this way of life appear? What was happening? What were people reading about and talking about then? So we hope that these will give teachers a chance to have primary materials in their classroom, because we're going to give them copies of articles that are primary sources. And we think that history buffs would be interested in that too. And there's a whole variety of things. some of them are very humorous, some of them are a bit sad, and many of them are thought-provoking. So we hope that teachers, history buffs, whatever your interest is, we hope you'll find something interesting in the combination of the 6 American values and the historical events.